Hello children, so we are going to start with your next video under the chapter Programming Fundamentals of Python, and now we are going to move on with the rules and regulations of using your variable names and then something called as multiple assignments. So along with that, I'm going to introduce you something else also. Now actually without knowing, you are learning the different kinds of words in Python, okay? Words, when I say, we actually don't call it as words, but in English we say words. No, you learn A for apple, B for boy in your smaller classes when you started learning your English. Just like that, you learned your Malayalam too. But before even understanding that E, you started talking in Malayalam. How? Because your mother or your other parents, your guardians used to talk, correct? No? They talk with you in Malayalam. Otherwise, depending upon which native language you used in your house, you started talking in that language without conventional learning. That is what we are doing here also. So without learning that ABCD of Python, we started using that, words in Python. But later on, we can just say, so Python's words are otherwise known as tokens. So I may be using that word tokens, or later in the notebook, you will see that word. So tokens are nothing but the fundamental built-in blocks of Python. In order to write a program in Python, we need what you call as a token. So one such token is your variable. That is why we give importance to that. So today we are going to just start with your rules and regulations of using your Python variable. So let's start with the same program we have over here. So let's name it like this way, like this. Let this be roll number. But if you run this, you can just see that I have to change now everything. So I just going to change these. Otherwise, no, unnecessarily I have to put. Or else, if I don't want to seriously show something, what else I can do? I don't know whether you noticed. I had told you this in the last class. That is called comments, which I'll be putting as notes in the new notes or new sections. Comments means it is going to disable. Those two won't be coming. So now X is no more there. So if I print now X is not a variable anywhere. So it will show error. So I have to correct this. And I am going to print roll number. Yeah, the same thing, okay, without any change. Let this also be commented. So put a hash. Here also put a hash. Yeah, let that be there. No issues. X and Y is okay. Correct Y? Because Y and Z is already there. Not X and Y, Y and Z. Okay, so error is going to come. Okay, see, even without running it showed an error. It is showing invalid syntax because earlier it executed and then only it showed that X is not defined, name is not defined, name error came. That is because there was no proper mistakes when you execute, there was no mistake. Then after in searching in the memory, only it found that capital X and small x is different. But here, now itself it can identify, the interpreting language Python can identify that the name of a variable should not have a space. So the next rule of your naming of a variable, or next rules and regulation under the naming of a variable is that a variable name, I have to give OK here, and then I have to go and just say, just write, make sure that no space is there. But what if definitely you need to write a variable name with a space? You put an underscore. You see an underscore? If you put an underscore and do it, then no error. Or if you remove the space also, no error. So first rule is that name can be given in capital letter or small letter. Is identified by Python's interpretation or interpreter, but then you have to use that name as throughout in the program. If you use X and capital X and small x for different variables, all right, understood, no error will come. Second rule, no space should be given between any words while naming. You can give any big words with big sentences, anything like that in your Python's naming rules, but no space. Okay, so that's identified that. What about, so now let me just run, I can just show you now. Yeah, so it is working, correct? See, Now what if I'm writing here something else like this? For example, our roll number, yeah, mark, any MRK, no issues, it will work. So what if I am writing mark, there is no underscore, it's a this one, mark off. Okay, mark off, enough. What about here if I come and print the same thing? Okay, otherwise you know. So I'm going to, I'm sorry, this system has an issue with certain keys, so that is why you can always see that I'm making a mistake when I'm typing. Okay, error will come. Why? You should tell. See, again showing invalid syntax. The reason is there is no way you can give anything other than an underscore. That means if you wanted to join two words, the only conventional rule applied is giving your corresponding underscore. Now you run the program. Understood? Now next one. So no extra characters other than underscore can be used in a variable. Third rule. No extra characters. What is extra characters? Other than A, B, C, D and 0 to 9 digits given inside the keyboard, all other small characters which you see even in your mobile keyboards, they are called extra characters. Then on the top you have the functional keys, F1 to F12, isn't it? So all those are different keys which is having different functions. So extra characters cannot be used in a variable other than underscore. So that's your next one. So you have your third rule. Now what if, okay, let's go for this. I hope you remember type. What if I'm trying to use type there? What is type? Type is actually a function which you learn, correct? But now I'm trying to use type as a variable. Get the point? So there your type equal to 33 worked, no issues at all. But every type may not be. We'll go for another one. That's because I'll tell you the reason. Print and type. Okay. You saw that? Print and type are both two different things. So there certain data, not data type, certain existing keywords are there. We call this type and print other than commands. We call it as keywords. Keywords are reserved words in Python which is used for special purpose. Now such words cannot be used. Let's try another one. But type work. So there are exceptions. But every time I prefer or I want you to use only conventional styles. This may work. See, int is actually a keyword. Why you could easily identify it as a keyword? Because his roll number and MRK underscore off and didn't come with that that highlighting thing. But int is coming as a highlighting thing. But print didn't work. Type and int work. So some of the keywords won't work. Let's try one more. I'll show you. So it's preferred in the rule that we avoid using the keywords. So this is another important special command. See, so such things are there. Invalid syntax is shown. This is also an important command. So we will identify these commands later. That is, if I write the same thing in capital and give, definitely it will work. Okay, no issues, because only in small letter these words are identified as special words. So print, type, which you just learned, which are commands, even though type work, we advise that you don't use those names for your variable. So coming with the next rule is that keywords. What is keyword? Special words in Python to do any kind of task. Okay, no, such words will come. A lot of words are there. Special words or reserved words or keywords cannot be used as naming variable or cannot be used for naming variable. Now it will work because this if has no connection with the other if. The small if was a command. So that's your rule. So we finished learning the different naming conventions of a variable. So you can, but normally we won't be giving such things, but if it is coming in an error correction question, you should identify. Now something which I didn't say, that is 1 mark. Okay, I'm going to give here 1 marks. Marks should be correctly given. 1 capital, no, sorry, 1 is given in beginning, again error. So what is that? That is because I cannot start my name with a number, but I can always end, or I can always put this way. There is no issues mark. That is in between numbers and at the end numbers are all possible. See, no error. I can also bring toggling. You can also see here capital is there. Again, I can put a small letter. I can again put a capital. So toggling of letters is also fine. You have to just make sure that you use it, but you will never use like this because you know it's confusing. But if it is coming in your output based questions, you definitely should know. So almost everything is covered. So what is it? Now one more. Okay, I just wanted to complete this properly so that you will never have any issues with your to it's underscore. Okay, that is I'm going to start with your underscore printing. Some of you might have already guessed, isn't it, what will happen? Exactly as I was given. Okay, so what is it? I cannot start naming a variable with a integer number, but I can always start naming the variable with an underscore. I can always end with a number. I can put numbers in between. Everything is possible, but I cannot start with a number. So numbering. So rules and regulations of variable names are almost over. If anything is left out, we will add on in between, because I think I finished everything. Yes, cannot contain spaces. You cannot put your numbers in the middle. Case sensitive. Yes. And one preferred thing is you should always choose your variable names not as X, Y, Z as I did in the beginning, just like roll number, name, mark, so that you can remember what you have given. It is that is highly acceptable and advised in Python programming that you use meaningful variable names. Okay, no? So that's over. Now something which you would like to just see, that's something which many of you wanted to see that. So let's not, yeah, we can do it here itself, because I just have to delete this. Yeah. Let's give x equal to since I told you don't use this one, I'm going to put this one, mark 1. Mark 3 equal to, now you already saw this. I'm just showing you in this style, that is this will work, correct? Without any error it will work. See, in one line, because I didn't give any kind of separator. If I am giving a separator here, depending upon what I am giving, it will come. If I am putting quotes and put a comma there, it will come with a comma. Only thing is that comma will come in the, see, properly with a space it came. Sorry, not with a space, with a comma it came. Now this is not actually I was going to show you. I was just telling you that this you should be aware that just like you gave your print for your strings and other integers in your first or second video, this is also possible. Now let's introduce something called as multiple assignments. Okay, M1, M2, M3 has put this in comma, and I am giving here print M1. The space here is a little bit, yeah. You understood what happened? See, M1, the first variable, took the first value given there. M2, if I am now giving same thing here, now you can guess what will be the value, isn't it? M1 1 minute, let me just check what is a mistake I have made. Yeah, I made a mistake because I used a single quotes from the beginning and then I tried to use the double quotes at the end. So I made a mistake. I am corrected. See, it's given slash and so multiple assignment is like this way. So we have gone a big conventional way, and then I have to stop this video. We'll continue multiple assignment in the next video. Okay, otherwise we will be not having specific space to upload it in OLAX. That is the reason. Okay, so shall I stop it? So thank you. We will continue with multiple assignment and other fundamentals in the next video.